Hello and welcome to Tuesdays with Annette. Thanks for joining me today. And if you're wondering what's happening here and you didn't watch last week's show, where were you? I've broken my arm. Yes, it's my humerus bone and healing well, but it does stop me from cooking. And so I have got a special guest for you this week, the fabulous Diane.
Hi everyone.
So Diane, if you don't know, works in our office. She has for 9 years and she's just a bit busy fabulous. So she stepped in, so be kind to her because, you know, she's a little nervous, but you'll be fabulous. And she's going to make a fabulous Malay salad for you this week, which is fabulous. So I hope you've downloaded the recipe and ready to make it. Now, before I leave it with Diane, and I'll come back later as well to say goodbye, I had the winners that were from last week's show, and Diane made chicken parmigiana, and it was a bit fabulous. And so all you had to do to win was like, share, and write a comment in the post. And so Ellen Haywood, Pam Edgar, and Cheryl Burns are all lucky winners, and they get a personally signed copy of the cookbook, and pretty easy. It's easy to win. So I'll tell you about winning at the end of the show, but in the meantime, let's just pass my microphone over to the fabulous Diane. Enjoy the show. There we go.
Well, hello everyone. As Annette said, we're in the kitchen today and I'm going to show you how to make a super easy salad. Now, when it comes to salads, the Malay salad we're making today, and when it comes to salads, a lot of people think salads are boring. Let me tell you, this salad has the most amazing dressing. You're going to love it, and there's a little bit of a twist. You can use the dressing on other salads if you want to as well. So let's just go through first what we've got as our utensils. So obviously I have a cutting board here. I've got a couple little things. I've got a whisk, just a little spatula in case I need it, a tablespoon and a teaspoon here. I also have a bowl to put the salad in when I'm mixing it all up. A little bowl to mix up the dressing into, and a cup measure to measure the different ingredients. So we'll run through the ingredients just quickly first of all. So for the dressing, you're going to need 2 tablespoons of the low salt or no fat French dressing. You need some 2 teaspoons of peanut butter, the smooth, not the crunchy. And then we need some sesame oil. So you've got just a half a teaspoon of sesame oil, some salt reduced soy sauce there, so 3/4 of a teaspoon of that, 3/4 of a teaspoon of brown sugar, and a little tiny bit, 1/4 of a teaspoon of crushed ginger in the jar. So have those there for the dressing. And then when it comes to the salad, we've got 3/4 of a cup of each of the bean sprouts, a red cabbage, some lettuce, we've got 1/3 of a cup of your capsicum, 2 tablespoons of your shallots, and a little bit of toasted sesame seeds, just 2 teaspoons there to pop that on the top at the end. But before we get cooking, we're going to do what we always do in our cooking classes, is we're going to wash our hands for 20 seconds. So and if you've just joined and you're wondering where Annette is, go back and watch the beginning of the show, because unfortunately Annette's had a little accident a couple of weeks ago now, and she has actually broken her arm, so I'm here helping her out. She's in the background also helping me to make sure I stay on track. And of course, if you've just joined, we are making Malay salad, absolutely delicious salad out of cooking for 1 or 2 people. And remember, this recipe's on the website, so if you didn't get the recipe before the show, just go on there, grab it, get your ingredients out, and you can make it with me if you like. It's so easy, this one. So what we're going to do to begin with is put together our dressing. So here's our little bowl. We have our 2 tablespoons of French dressing. Now with your Annette's tablespoons, there are 15 tablespoons, so just keep that in mind. And with this particular one, because it's an adjustable tablespoon, we have, if you just pop your finger against it, push it down on it, it'll make sure the liquid doesn't actually go and you end up with too much of the liquid. So we've got 2 tablespoons of the French dressing. We'll just pop that into our bowl just to get us started. That's that one. We'll put this to the side because that way we know that we've used it, it's done. We've got the peanut butter here. There's 2 teaspoons of smooth peanut butter. We've already got that measured out, so I can just pop that straight into our bowl. Pop these in the sink. Right, hang on to that just in case I need it. Now we've got a 1/2 teaspoon of sesame oil. Now this one is, just be really careful when you're measuring this out because too much sesame oil will really overpower. So 1/2 teaspoon is perfect. So just gently pour it into your teaspoon, again holding down a bit of pressure on that just so that you're getting the right amount. Pop that in the bowl. And our next ingredient is our salt reduced soy sauce. We want 3/4 of a teaspoon of that. Pop it into the teaspoon, into our bowl. Now a little bit of brown sugar, so it's 3/4 of a teaspoon of brown sugar. Pop that in. And last but not least, just for a little bit of zing, there's 1/4 of a teaspoon of your crushed ginger. So move it right down to 1/4 and we just smooth it off as I'm getting it out of the jar and tap it into the bowl. And that's it. That's everything for our dressing. So pop all that in there, pop those in the sink. And that's where our little whisk comes in handy. So we're just going to whisk all that together. Now these little whisks, you can usually pick them up at the cheap shops. So there are usually 2 of them in a set, and they're really, really good to be able to have these on hand when you're making. And of course, with anything that Annette makes, there's a reason for it. So this particular salad could be really high in fat if someone else was giving you the recipe, but this particular recipe is just 5.5 grams of fat per serve, or if you don't put the sesame seeds on it at the end, you've got 3.9 grams of fat. And of course this recipe is out of cooking for 1 or 2 people. It's the Malay salad, and of course it serves 2 people. So give that a really good whisk. You want that to look really quite smooth. It's a lovely dressing. I can smell all the different ingredients there. It's just delicious. Even this salad is even great if you pop it on to, you know, I don't know, if you had lettuce, tomato, cucumber and put this dressing on it, it tastes amazing. So that's it. That's our dressing all ready to go. We'll pop that over to one side. Now we're wanting to make our salads. So we'll start with, I'll pop the bean shoots in the bowl. That will get that bowl out of the way. Then we can chop up our lettuce. And like I said, we want 3/4 of a cup of our lettuce. So we'll just give it, just start slicing, and then I'll pop it into the measure jug that we have here. If you've just joined us, don't forget we're making the Malay salad. There's no such thing as a boring salad when it comes to Annette Sym. So if you think, oh, this Malay salad is not really my thing, you know, just have a flip through the cookbooks. There's so many delicious salad recipes. So we're just going to pop this in here, push it down just so we get a good amount of lettuce. Oh, I think I've overdone it just a tad. Let's take a couple little bits of that out. Little chunky bits. There we go. So I'll pop that in there with the bean shoots. Now, see, I'm not as good at this as Annette. I've chopped up a little bit too much lettuce, but I know lettuce is never going to go to waste in this house. In fact, it'll probably be on our plate when we have lunch after the show. So I'll just pop that over to one side. And now we've got our red cabbage. Now, little trick with red cabbage, nobody wants to eat the core. So first thing you do, if you've got more than 1/4 of your red cabbage, cut it into quarters. This is going to make it so much easier for you to be able to get a really nice fine cabbage slice. So what we do now is we just want to chop that core out. So there we go, pop that in the bin. And then because we've got it in quarters, it's got a nice flat surface now, and we can just start just finely cutting up. So we want to make sure we get it really fine. There's nothing worse with anything that's got cabbage in it when you get a huge big chunk of it. So I'm just going to take my time here and cut some really nice fine slices. Now, if you were doing this and you had some old sort of leaves on the outside of your cabbage, you'd actually take them off as well before you started cutting into your cabbage. So let's have a look. Let's just pop the cabbage in, break it up a little bit, pop it in. Oh, I think I cut that one a bit thick. Let's cut another one. We want this to be yummy. After all, we're going to be having this for lunch after the show. Oh, that's much nicer. Excellent. And I think we have enough. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's plenty. We'll pop these over here. Tip that on into our bowl. And now all we have to do is pop the rest of our ingredients in. We want to put everything in except for the sesame seeds. Don't put those in yet. So we've got our capsicum, our red capsicum, 1/3 of a cup, a couple of tablespoons of shallots. They're all in there. Pop those into the soapy sink. Get that out of the way. And now, because I'm in Annette's kitchen, I have these fabulous tools to toss the salad around. So you just toss it all. So you want to get it all nicely mixed through. Oh, what have I done? Oh, my cabbage doesn't want to come apart. I did wash my hands, remember, at the beginning of the show, so don't worry. And we just toss that all through. Now, if you were having this for a party, if you're having people over, you would leave it at this stage and just pop a bit of cling wrap on it and put it in the fridge. But we're having this for lunch today, so we're going to be putting the dressing on it. Just give it a bit more of a mix. And remember, this recipe is on the website. If you've just joined us, making a delicious Malay salad out of Annette's cooking for 1 or 2 people. And so far we've made our dressing up. We've put together all of our salad ingredients, and now all that's left to do is put the dressing over the top. So we'll pop that over, and I'll give it another toss through. Pop that in the sink. Give it another little toss through. Now, before I bring Annette back into the show, I don't know if you've noticed, I'm actually left-handed. And as left-handers in the kitchen, we do get a little bit of flack. So I said to Annette today, why don't I give a few tips to anyone out there who's either left-handed, or maybe you have a left-handed grandchild or someone in the family's left-handed. I just want to give you a couple of little tips so you're not so hard on us poor left-handers. So I'll serve that up in a moment, but let's just have a quick look. So the first thing is to have the knives sharpened on both sides. You know, the old way of doing it with the steel doesn't work so well because people tend to prefer to sharpen them more to the right-hand side. So these are great little tools if anyone in the house is left-handed, because they sharpen equally on both sides of the knife. So that's my first tip for in the house if there's other left-handers around. Now, what about if you happen to be going out and someone's like, oh, can you help me? Can you cut up something? If their knives are sharpened more to the right, you won't cut with them. You'll end up with these big chunks out of the food that you're trying to cut up with. So what I tend to do, which is probably a little bit of a funny one, but I actually go for a steak knife. Now, like, I've got 2 different ones here that I brought in from home. So we've got this one here has actually got quite a thick edge and it's quite deeply serrated. That one's not good. You're not going to get a nice fine edge on anything that you cut. But this one is actually you can only just see the serrations on it. That one's great. Best thing you ever do to cut up tomatoes or anything like that. If you haven't got a good knife set like the ones Annette has here, honestly, a steak knife is the way to go. Now, the other tip that I have, if you've got left-handers in the house, this sort of potato peeler is going to drive them up the wall. They are right-handed. I've had this argument with my husband many times. For a left-hander to peel a potato with this style of peeler, they actually have to peel away from them, and then everyone goes, oh, that's the weirdest way to peel a potato. That's because it's the only way it's sharpened. This style of potato peeler is perfect. Left or right-handed can use them, and yeah, it's so much easier. So that's that. And then for my final tip, if you do happen to be teaching a left-handed person how to do something, now this is not just in the kitchen, it can be anywhere. The best thing to do is have them facing opposite you. So that way they're looking at you, you're doing whatever it is, then they are seeing a mirror image of it, and it's so much easier for them to be able to learn something, seeing it as a mirror image. And the same would go, if you're left-handed and you're trying to teach your right-handed child what to do, same thing, get them to face you so that they are seeing it as a mirror image. And that's it. That's my tips for left-handers in the kitchen. So let's just serve this up. I'll get Annette back in the kitchen. We're going to pop this in the bowl, and I think I'll get Annette to put the sesame seeds on the top. Annette, would you like to come back in?
Great job, Diane. Isn't she fabulous?
Well, you might want your microphone. I'll just keep serving up the salad.
Well, this Malay salad is one that we have a lot, and Billy and I just tuck our way through it because it's so easy. It only serves 2 people. But today we're going to divide it into 3 because we're all going to have it for lunch today, of course. But isn't it great to make a salad that's a bit fizzy? Because, you know, I don't know, lettuce, tomato, cucumber, it can be pretty boring. And as Diane said, rightfully so, you could even just make the dressing that goes with this recipe and put it over any type of salad you've got. So I haven't washed my hands, Diane, so could you mind doing the sesame seeds?
Oh, okay.
Yes, finish your dish off, babe. So this is optional. Remember, it is a little bit more fat if you add the sesame seeds, but I think it really does make it a bit fabulous.
It does.
Yeah, it really does. It goes with the Malay thing as well, and with the peanut butter in it. It's that satay, but it's not hot, you know what I mean? Like, so satays can be quite hot as well. Well, there you go. Another fabulous recipe on Tuesday with Annette. I hope you've been able to cook it with Diane. We did cut up a few things ahead just to help our girl because she's not used to doing the show. And so that's the recipe. Thank you, Diane. Give her a clap, everybody. Yay. Now, next week's show, we're going to have a guest presenter coming in for Tuesday with Annette. I'm not going to say who it is yet, but you need to check it out. And this fabulous lady, you're going to adore her, as I do, and she's going to be making a recipe actually out of the Cooking for 102 book because she's actually a single gal and she really wanted to do that to show others that are living on their own, and she's going to be making fish Italiano. So that's fantastic. But this Thursday, my gorgeous Rachel, my second-born daughter, and thank you for all your kind comments to both Diane and Rachel last week. They were a bit nervous and they were very, very happy to hear that you enjoyed their shows. Well, she'll be back on Thursday and making the beef stroganoff out of book 2. But now what we need to do is work out if you want to be a winner chicken dinner or a salad. If you'd like to win, can you hold that fabulous book up so we can show them? If you'd like to win Cooking for 102, if you don't have it, you need to, and put it in your repertoire in the kitchen. All you have to do is like, share, and as they did last Tuesday, write a comment in the feed, and I will just randomly pick 3 fabulous people and you'll get a personally signed copy. That's it. Like, share, and write a comment. Now, before I finish up, you've got a week to go before we start the, what is it called? The
End of Summer
Challenge. It's going to be fabulous. I'm very excited about the menu plans and all the tips and support we're going to offer you if you'd like to join us. So if you've hesitated in the past, make it now's the time. And it starts on the 15th of February. So you've got all this week to sign up. Just go to simplytoogood.com.au/membership. Check it all out, and I hope I can be your mentor. I'd be very excited. So for more tips, recipes and weight loss tools, you know where to go.
Oh, I forgot. The variation for this salad is amazing. It's the Chinese cabbage. So if you don't have normal cabbage, the Chinese cabbage is a really great option.
Yeah, so, you know, you can replace the lettuce with the Chinese cabbage, or the red cabbage and the lettuce, you could just do the Chinese cabbage as well. It's really about making it fabulous. Anyway, go to simplytoogood.com.au for more tips, recipes and tools, and I'll see you with my gorgeous Rachie on Thursday. Thanks for watching, and bye from now.
Bye.
Well done.